Hi, I'm Sherilyn from Evoca. In this lesson, I will show you the file structure the UDK uses and where to correctly save your data. We will also create a file structure that you can use throughout your course and for any project you create in the future. So first of all, open up Windows Explorer and go to the location where you installed your UDK. In my case, it's on my D drive. Now you'll notice that I've got several versions. The one I am going to be working on is the May 2014. So if I double click on this, as you can see, we have some folders here. Now we're only going to concern ourselves with a couple. The ones we're going to concern ourselves with development and the UDK game. The binaries folder, if you open up this, has a whole stack of different information in there. Mainly it's plugins for Maya or for Max, so you can actually create certain assets. It also comes with Speed Tree Modeler. Go check it out, it is really, really cool. So if I go back, the engine we are not going to touch either. This is engine specific to the UDK, and you don't want to mess with these. So we're not going to worry about going into the engine folder. The first one I will just quickly show you is the development. This is where you store all your classes. Now that is going to be for a later lesson, but I'll just quickly show you. If you come into development and SRC, which stands for source, this here holds all the classes that go into a game. These here are the ones that come with the UDK itself. So you can go ahead and have a look at the different codes that makes up certain classes that they have created. And it's in here where you would then create your own folder and your own classes. Again, I'll show you that in a later lesson. So if we go back, the one that we want to look at is UDK Games. So if we double click on this, as you can see, we have got a whole stack of different folders. Autosaves. Now the UDK will automatically save every X amount of minutes. You can change that autosave setting. So autosaves, as it says, is your autosave. Build are build files. Config, this holds all your any files, and we will be going into this a little bit later to show you how you can have it point to your specific game so you can build your own classes. Content, I'll go into that in a second. That is the cool stuff. Flash just shows up flash information. You've got the localization, the logs, which is your log files, movies, which will show up different movies, the loading screens and so forth. Project templates, if you've got certain templates that you want to use. Script, which we don't want to touch. This also will create, when you create your own script, it will create a .u file. We don't want to touch that, but this is where it stores the .u files. Again, that's for a later lesson. And of course splash, so if you want to change the splash screen, you can actually swap it out from here. Okay, the next thing we are going to do is we're going to create a file structure to keep everything neat and tidy. So what we're going to do is create a file structure under the UDK game, under content, so everything is in the one spot. So to do that, all you do is you go into content and you right click anywhere on the white space and go to new and folder. Now you can give this your name, or you can give it the name of your game, whatever you choose. In this case, I'm going to call it Shares Evoca. Now you've noticed that I never put any spaces and I don't have any strange characters. Very important, don't put spaces in naming conventions, don't put strange characters. If you wanted to, you can put an underscore. So if I decided to split this up, I can do this with an underscore. That is correct. Nothing else will be correct. So if you have an ampersand or if you have an @ symbol, it will not like it. So keep in mind when you're creating names for games, keep it one word or put an underscore. Also take note of your uppercase and lowercase. This is important for when you're actually doing classes. So inside here, what I'm going to do is create some further structures or file structures so I can keep my data and it's easier for me to find it and it's all in one little neat spot. So I'll now open up my folder, my master folder, and I'm going to create several other folders under here. So all you do is you right click new folder, and the first one I'm going to create is characters. So any of your characters you create in Max or Maya or Blender or any application, once you save them out as an FBX, if you put them into here, it's easier for you to then import them into the engine. The next one will be effects. Things like magic and fire, rain, etc., etc. Then we have environments. This can be anything relating to the environment. It could be trees, grass, flowers, anything. And we have objects. Any static mesh. It could be a statue. It could be a rock, or the rock could go in environments, and purely up to you. The next one we'll do are pickups, self-explanatory. And sounds. This is important for a game. UI, so anything relating to the user interface that you want to create for your own game, like the HUD or any textures that go with it, you can save all the data into there. And then we have vehicles. And the last one is weapons. Now, if you can think of any other folders that you might want for your game, go ahead and create them. But this is what we will use throughout this unit.